What's up guys, it's Drac, and this is the longest Nerf blaster ever, which is of course a metric that Hasbro has complete control over to brag about. Now you'll have to forgive me because I'm completely exhausted pretty much all day during October, but I can't recall if the Centurion or the Long Strike is technically the one being dethroned by the Fortnite Heavy Sniper Rifle, which of course we abbreviated as SR to avoid writing the words sniper rifle on a children's toy. That said, this guy is a serious piece of kit. It was $54 at Target. Of course, I had the sale recently going on. I felt almost bad. I wanted to use the sale on more Dart Zone stuff, but I used my $25 coupon on a Mark III, and then I used my $10 coupon to knock this down to 44 bucks. So I will be evaluating it as though it cost me $50, which is the halfway point between what I would have paid with tax and what I did pay with tax. So let's call it what it is, $50 Ginormo sniper rifle. So this is a Mega Blaster. It's a Mega Blaster using a Mega magazine. It's got a bipod, it's got a stock that's fixed. It's definitely, you know, taking heavy inspiration from the Fortnite blaster, specifically, which takes heavy inspiration from the Barrett 50 cal. So I don't know if I have a clip of it. If I have a clip of it, I have fired a Barrett 50 cal multiple times, and it's an absolute delight to shoot. It's relatively accurate, and if you're a recoil junkie, it's a really fun range toy. This will be less fun, however, maybe we'll get some of that simulated experience out of it. So the box is huge, and it's claiming that this thing is 43 inches long. I definitely believe them when they say that this is the longest Nerf blaster ever, because that's an insane length for a children's toy, especially given that most of the people who want Fortnite blasters are younger people who haven't discovered good video games yet. I think that it's interesting to almost overwhelm them with something so incredibly massive out of the box. Now, theoretically, this comes with a code to unlock it in the Fortnite game. I thought, when fully assembled, nope, I guess it doesn't. Oh well, no digital asset for me to throw you guys in the comment section down below. Comes with 6 Mega Darts. Those are relatively expensive, don't lose them. Comes with a bolt. I'm trying to figure out, the bolt might be a screw design, which is actually a huge upgrade from previous designs from the mothership, simply because hey, that's pretty cool. Somebody just picked up another one of the brand new scabbard rigs. But Shopify announcements aside, it's nice that they moved away from the pin system where you push these together, because then you break them when you take it apart to try and modify it, and they've moved into this system by which you just slide it in like so, and you still have all of the fun of a bolt action sniper, but the threads on here mean that you'll be able to take it apart and put it back together again. That's excellent for paint jobs, and I imagine this one will be relatively popular for paint jobs, just given that it's the only Barrett, you know, profile for these things. Now, as per usual, I do want to caution you, if you're taking this apart the regular way, it's not going to matter. You should be taking it apart to paint it, but if you're taking it apart, planning to mod it, planning to paint it, planning to put some sort of upgrade or refit kit in it, of which I'm sure they will be coming out soon, you don't want to actually assemble it just yet. They ship like this because it makes it easier to flat pack and fit more of them on the boat from China. But once you put it together, if you're just intending to use it as a toy, it is together. So I'm going to do that for the purposes of the review, and it actually went together very smoothly, very cleanly. Like I said, there's a bipod. The bipod bends both ways. And with the bipod, I didn't want to like this one because it's just comically oversized, but I do like it. It doesn't even fit on my camera unless I lean back like, ah! But I think a downside is gonna have to be that the magazine doesn't seem like a standard Mega Mag, but I will definitely test that. If it fits a Centurion mag as well, that's excellent. This is definitely a stylized Mega Mag so that you can have more of that Fortnite silhouette. The scope is comically large, but the whole thing is comically oversized, and I think that you almost need the scope on it to make it that much funnier. Now, one thing that's interesting is that part of the faux, like look at the rail here. This is not actual full top rail. Part of it is the jam door, disguised as top rail, and then it becomes top rail over here, so that I guess you could have backup irons on your literal sniper rifle. I'm trying to see which way they want it to go. They want it to go this way, which is how it should go, but you never know. And if I put it on wrong, people will tell me. There's a sort of obnoxious jam door or jam release to release the bolt right here. It's like a fiddly bit. It's just obnoxious because it comes out too far and it's a little delicate. It's like what if your SIM card release was a pin coming out of your phone? It's just a little awkward. But down here you have rail where you could put any sort of foregrip or hand guard or stop or something along that line. It appears that these actually won't fold back, which is pretty upsetting, just because it would be convenient for transport and storage. You have to fold forward. Now, you're gonna lose some range to this monstrous barrel, but as you see, hopefully it won't be that much range just because of how much dead space is in there. After all, that's a huge ID even when we're talking about mega darts. Now, as for the prime is long and crunchy, which implies gears, but hopefully it's not quite as fragile as like Centurions of days past. Now, priming forward, pulling the trigger, it actually sounds somewhat anemic. I don't think that it's going to be hitting that hard. Certainly not for a veritable sniper rifle, but we'll go ahead and... That one sounded a little bit better. Let's check just real quick. This should not have slam fire, and it doesn't. That's pretty much all that we can say about it on the inside. I mean, you're getting a lot of plastic for 50 bucks. So if you needed a sniper silhouette for cosplay, for, you know, role play, for LARP, for anything, this is gonna fill that role in a way that, like, you can't buy a Centurion at retail anymore. And in some ways, this is a better skin than a Centurion for something like, you know, a Call of Duty cosplay or any sort of, like, you know, Raccoon City. I don't know what people need sniper rifles for in cosplay necessarily. I would like to see it as a Ceres Victoria cosplay rifle. I think that would be pretty tight at Dragon Con or something along that line. The paint job on it is sick. I'll be honest, it's very nice that Hasbro painted both sides of it. Why, you know, we get paint on both sides of the shell but not the logos is beyond me. But hey, I'm not here to complain. I'm thrilled that the camo wraps all the way around. The camo actually looks pretty good and lends this to a more Fortnite-y, cartoony kind of silhouette. Makes it significantly less dangerous that it has this monstrous orange barrel on it. This would be safe for in-the-park play despite the fact that it's a darker red with a darker camo. After all, we're running around with Strikers and Mark IIIs these days. So I think that this is totally fine. And in that spirit, we're going to take it outside and put it over the chronograph, let you know what we think. All right, so taking this thing outside, it actually starts to feel like we should be on our way to Loot Lake. It's comically oversized. It's relatively comfortable. The stock is not doing anything for anybody. I mean, it's very tight. It shoulders nicely due to the sort of angular video game geometry on it, but the ergonomics are solid. They definitely have built this for adult-sized hands and bodies, which makes sense because it's humongous. It's comically oversized. My wingspan is well over 6.5 feet, and this takes up an entire arm and most of my chest. It's like, whoa. But none of that matters if it doesn't deliver solid performance downrange. So let's put a couple of these mega darts over the chronograph, and let's put one down on target and see where we're at. It's just how far I have to stand away from the chronograph. It's humorous. Is it off kilter? Is this? That makes sense. Okay, so I was constantly wondering during the review, I was like, why does the brake go all the way at and it tilts, and then once it's in position, it's locked in. So luckily we caught that in the review, so it wasn't all of the comments, right guys? .48. I told you it was anemic, right? So as opposed to an actual sniper or DMR class rifle where, you know, you have a lot of go-go gas behind your projectile, this seems to be suffering from its scope and size. 63 is much better. 64. And another 48. So inconsistencies aside, I mean, I think it's safe to say this is not a performance, high range, high power blaster. You bought this for the aesthetics, not the accuracy. After all, it shoots mega darts and certainly not any sort of sniper-esque fantasy performance. However, it's not a bad looking blaster. It is oversized. I think that it fills a role that we haven't had a good entrant into that category since the Long Strike, since the Centurion. I think that as many people buy these to use them for things other than blaster battles, this will be fun for role play, for basement wars, and most importantly, I think this one fits a real cosplay aesthetic kind of roll. Let's see if we can get a dart on target 25 feet away. Oh boy. Should we use the scope? What do you think? Should we line it up, guys? Here, we'll line it up together. It'll be great. But lo, it was not great on account of Mega Darts are effectively just ginormo elites, right? So they pretty much curve in whatever direction they feel. If I try this one instinctually, wow, so there are knockoff Megas, the AccuStrike Megas that you can pick up for a better deal. I'll try and see if I can find some and link them in the description box below. Again, I think that this one's a thumbs up. Like, as much as I'm not a big fan of Fortnite, I am a big fan of the blaster that the firearm that the blaster in Fortnite is based off of, that this blaster is based off of. So the same way that some of the Star Wars blasters, I'm like, yeah, this blaster isn't that great, but it's using a P226 grip. That's sort of how I feel about this. I think that aesthetically, this one's pretty cool. And as promised, I mean, again, I think that it's a solid pickup if you're into it. If you like it, if you're watching this video and you're like, that looks pretty good, man, then like it could be good. This is an original Centurion magazine, and the question is just, did they, hey, that's kind of cool. All right. It's very unusual for Hasbro to be this cross-compatible across the years outside of their in-strike system, but it's the magic of the Centurion magazine. Crazy. From a day and age when Hasbro was doing ethical business practices and marketing, we bring you back-to-back headshots with Mega Darts. Pretty cool. Other than that, my buddy EOC has discovered this chicanery. This is a Busby Tech 10, I think, with a UMB tank in it and a dual stroke bike pump on it. And like, if you've never gone back and watched my old school videos, I just pop a leak. That's the OPRV. Anyway, air blasters are dope. We figured out that thin wall PVC will fit the Mega XL blasters, AKA the girth darts, and let's just see. So that's 58, but I definitely have an air leak. So EOC tells me that this one's gotten stressed out a little bit since we've been goofing off with it, but effectively this is how we used to make a lot of air blaster primaries that would fire micro darts. It's a good way to test new funky ammo like this. So if I go fast, we should maintain enough pressure in this tank, and this is a decent sized tank, to get some sort of cool shot on target with it. It's just a fun experiment to see if the new goofy ammo is worth the hype. No, I have formally dislodged and this is why we mod using kits these days a lot of the times, guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. That's decent barrel fit for Mega XL. I think that the sniper rifle's not bad. Much love, blast on, Drac out.